It's going great. I just finished everything, almost everything. Yesterday, I have an exam tomorrow, and that's pretty much it for the next few months. So it's great.
Good for you, man. I'm glad you're kind of over that and you're able to get back into trading. I know this your main love, right?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, back.
Hello, Gary.
He's back.
You all right?
Yes, if you're all
Hey,
right.
Gary.
Hey, can you hear me? Oh, what's going on? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, good. You all right?
Matei's asking if you're all right. Can you not hear? Matei, you with us?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, Gary was asking if you're all right.
Oh, Gary was asking. Yeah, I'm perfect, man. You guys. How are you doing, Gary?
Yeah, good.
Steve, what's up, buddy?
Hi, do you hear me, guys?
How are you, man?
Fine, you?
Good, man. I was trying to think of the country you were from because I was talking to Matei saying that you were coming into the group, and I didn't know if it was Latvia, Croatia, but you cleared it up in the general chat over there.
Sorry, just a moment.
Sure.
I'm trying to fix some technicals.
Absolutely.
So I don't hear very well. So can you repeat the question? Sorry.
No, I was saying I was talking to Matei about you. The fact that you were coming in, I told you guys reminded me of each other a little bit. And I was trying to figure out the country you were from. I was trying to remember, and I didn't know if it was Latvia or Croatia or one of those countries over there. So
ex-Yugoslavia countries, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to have you in here. Matei, this is Stipe, Gary.
Welcome.
Matei is actually from Slovenia, and then Gary's from
Welcome.
Okay, we're neighbors.
Yes.
Oh, really?
He's in Croatia.
Yeah, Croatia. Split.
Perfect. Nice. I like it.
All right. So should we get into some breakdowns?
Sure.
All right. Awesome. So over here, we're looking at GJ, obviously, as we all know, and I haven't actually broken down the chart for you, Stipe, but as you're looking at GJ over here, from the monthly, we are in this bearish trend on the monthly from a macro standpoint. So you're seeing these highs appear being created back in 2007, right up here, coming up and kind of forming the bottom trend over here with that massive dump over here from the Brexit dump or back in 2015, 2016. And now we're approaching that level as well. Now, yeah, I do have trend lines on my chart, but my main confluence is support and resistance, as is yours, with you trading pretty similar to the way I do or the way Raquel does. Support and resistance is the main confluence. So as we're looking over here, you see a main resistance over here formed, a strong support over here as well, strong support in this area around 156. So as price is coming back up into this area, we've been talking for months now that price is going to react once it came to 155 or 156. So now we're in this level. The month of June, we ended up closing a strong bearish candle with a wick to possibly fill. And if you zoom in right now, you have a top wick already formed, it looks like, on the monthly candle, right, for July. And now that candle's starting to flip bearish. So are we going to continue right back down to fill this wick over here? Obviously, you got the Delta variant and everything, but it looks like Boris Johnson is keeping his promise of July of easing the lockdown restrictions, even with this Delta variant going on. Maybe they don't think it's as serious as it could be, but it looks like GJ is heading down right now with some of the a little bit of a boost with the Japanese yen over here. You had support formed at 89.60. We'll mark that off. And if you don't know, this is the Japanese currency index, right? So you have the dollar currency index over here, DXY, that you pay attention to, and that gives you a good idea where the dollar is going. But if you trade GJ, what's your main pairs, Stipe?
I mainly focused on gold lately, but usually I look at GJ.
Okay, Cool. So as you know, when you're looking at gold, you're looking at the dollar and seeing where
Yeah.
the dollar's moving.
How strong it
So
is.
if you're looking at a pair like GJ, you're going to be looking at the strength of the two currencies. So you're looking at the Japanese currency index. We did hold the support right over here at a positive news out of the US. So now we had that retracement coming right back up to 90. So we got to see what happens right now. So the 1 hour looks like it's a little bearish. We did form this resistance over here. Just want to take a look at gold real quick just to see where we're at. Yeah, we're kind of just ranging in there. But anyway, like I said, we did retrace over here, and now we're kind of holding a little resistance over here. Let's see if this is our resistance to continue right back down to retest these lows, or we just continue to consolidate over here on the Japanese yen. Because since Q2 started, we've been in this bearish trend. Actually, since the year started. So since January, we've just been pushing bearish. Everything on the Japanese yen has been bearish. So right now, we could very well continue to consolidate, retest this area over here, and then continue right back down, or just hold this resistance here and then continue right back down and retest the lows. But looking at the Japanese or the pound yen pair, we are flipping bearish now on the weekly, right? We had this previous week, we had a bearish candle with a wick to fill, weak bearish candle, but now we never passed the high of this previous candle, and now we're flipping bearish to continue right back down. It looks like we're probably gonna retest these lows over here, this wick. So looking at the daily now, we are ranging, very rangy market. Obviously, over here, you had our zone that we were kind of consolidating in for about 2 weeks over here. And we finally broke out of that with the interest rate talks. They were talking about increasing interest rates. So out of Great Britain. So we reached 156 finally. Those were yearly highs. Then we continued to consolidate as we said we probably would. And then we broke through here with some negative talks out of the US or talking about interest rates. But right here, we just ended up consolidating. We came up, retested this consolidation up here, and now we're coming right back down over here. Looks like we're going to be holding this resistance, previous support, very significant area right here, 153, 650. So now we're starting to come right back down, probably to retest these lows, unless we hold this bullish structure over here. I don't think we are. We were holding bullish structure over here ever since breaking up, consolidating over here, and then coming right back down to hold support right here. And it looked like we were starting to push right back up, but now we're starting to break that bearish trend. So again, most recent support and resistance is our main confluence over here. So we want to see price break below this support right here, and then you'll have higher confluences for price to come down and retest these 4-hour wicks, and then come down to this support right back down here at 152,800. So it's that simple. You go into the market with a plan, you remove all emotion, or as much as you possibly can, remove the fear and the greed, and you only trade what you're looking for. So it looks like we had kind of like a fake out over here, because we had this support formed over here where price came all the way back up to 154 about, right? And then came right back down, closed below the support. And then we came right back into that area, grab liquidity up here, and then we're just starting to head down. So this is a fake out to me. You follow fake outs, right, Stipe?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is kind of like a fake out over here, kind of like a liquidity grab. And now we're breaking that bullish structure that we've been respecting for a while now. But I don't want to trade anything until we break below 153, 280, close below, and then maybe we could retest this area over here. You only have about 15, 16 pips over here, but the main target is obviously going to be 152,800. So if we get a clean close below that area, you have about 50 pips that you could play with. I would definitely secure at 16 pips around this support, because we could very well hold this support and continue right back up, or continue to consolidate. But you could definitely grab something if you get your setup, maybe like a close below little retest over here, and then take price right back down. But again, you have about 50 pips in here. You do have this clean candle to the left that you can mirror. But right now, I'm just waiting for price to break below that support. I'm trying to see. Yeah, this is definitely a critical level right here, where we form support right over here. We had this wick rejection, this resistance, this wick rejection over here to the left as well. So again, I would need candles closing in my direction below the support and maybe like a little retest and then take this down. But just these are riskier sells. You can most definitely take it in here. I would lower risk. And then once we break below the support, you can raise risk a little bit over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, but I don't think I'd be trading anything in here. I would kind of relax in here unless you get a clean support formed over here and you get candles closing on the 30-minute or the 1 hour in your direction. You may be able to play this range. This is a 50 pip range. But again, I would be aware of this. You got a lot of big wicks, a lot of sideways printing. You don't need to be trading. If you don't get your setup on your pair, you don't need to be in that pair. You don't need to be in that trade.
Yeah, it's kind of messy.
What was it? Yeah, it's messy. It's not worth it. As you gain more experience and you get more comfortable with your pairs, you can start to play some of these ranges with low risk, and you're not really leaving a runner in those ranges either. You're just, closing the full thing at 10 pips, right? But for now, I would just stay out of this and just wait for your classic break and retest setups, right? Just all you're looking for is the setup that you have in your trading plan, which we'll go over after you finish the course. But other than that, you're just live back testing everything. So if you see a possible trade and you're like, damn, I like that setup, I want to take that setup, I would hold back for the first couple times that you see that setup. And then later on, you can continue to journal that setup. And then later on, you can start to catch it.
Okay.
So looking at gold over here, which might be a little bit better of a pair to trade today. Looking at the monthly. Oh, Gary, was Stipe the one you were talking to on Instagram?
No.
Somebody different?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So over here, looking at gold right now, obviously we've been in this bullish trend ever since COVID, ever since the Iran conflict as well. Geopolitical pressures obviously pushing gold all the way up to 2074 at historical highs up here until we entered this corrective state. But you got to understand why gold did everything that it did, and then also look at its history and what it's done in the past. So you could see over here, very similar price action where we created this high right up here. And then we entered this corrective phase. We retested these lows, right? Came right back up to retest the candle body highs and then just tanked with that market recovery after the 2008 market crash, 2011, 2012. The U.S. started to turn the corner with that recovery entering over here. 2017, Trump came into office. We had a lot of tension going on in the U.S. and in the world when he first came into the office because, nobody knew what to expect. He was never a politician. A lot of people were nervous, whatever the case may be. A lot of thoughts were all over the place. A lot of fear going on as well. A lot of fear driven in the news as well, which definitely doesn't help. What's up, James?
Hey, how are
How
you?
you doing, buddy? James, meet Stipe. Stipe is from Croatia. He's not too far from you guys over there in Ireland.
Hi,
Hey, how are
James.
you?
Fine, you?
Good, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Awesome. So anyway, we then entered this bullish run on gold. Obviously, again, geopolitical pressures, and then COVID was the main mover last year, right? COVID 2020, February 2020, March 2020, excuse me. We came all the way up with these huge monthly candles all the way up to 2074, and then we entered this corrective phase before breaking out of it after retesting these highs. Remember, we said we came right back down to the previous lows, just like we did over here. Came back to the previous lows and then came right back up to retest these candle body highs. Came right back up to retest the candle body highs. So now we are now making this bearish run over here. Are we creating a top wick over here on gold to then continue right back down to 1680? Or are we going to hold support here and continue right back up with inflation fears? I know we had positive NFP and positive data coming out of the US, but at the same time, the job numbers aren't that good. The government is still paying people not to work. And when that happens, you don't get production in the marketplace. You don't get production out of people in the country. And the country, especially in the capitalist society, runs on labor. It doesn't run on the government printing money and sending it out to people. It's not a healthy environment. It's not a healthy economy. Healthy economy is when people are actually back to work. So the market realizes that, and that's why we've gotten this nice little bullish run over here on gold ever since retesting 1760. We held support over here, right? We created this resistance up here at 1910 after retesting these previous highs. And then we took that, massive dump over here with the positive U.S. news, positive U.S. data coming out. So we ended up closing right back down here at 1763 with barely any bottom wick. And then we get a strong bullish candle over here on the weekly with a wick to possibly fill. This candle ended up grabbing liquidity down here and ended up flipping bullish and closing bullish. Now this candle created a bottom wick past the high of these candles, and we should be pushing up. I know we're coming up to a fib level. I don't really trade fibs, but I know some of you guys pay attention to it. But it looks like we're coming up to 17 or 38.2 right up here, and we could also be coming up to 50% form resistance over here, and then continue right back down to retest these lows. But we can also pay attention to, as we always look at trend lines, the monthly and the weekly. We've been respecting this bullish trend, pushing up multiple times over here. Then when we came right back down to 1680, we reacted to that level. We also reacted to the previous support to the left, and then we just made that massive bullish run on the weekly over here, right? Until we broke it. What was that last month? Mid-June over here, we broke. So now we're starting to come right back up. We are reacting to this trend line as well that you want to pay attention to. But again, main confluence is support and resistance. Daily, last week and the week before, we were kind of just consolidating in here. Since making this massive bearish push, we've just been consolidating. We kind of grabbed liquidity down here, did like a little fake out of this zone right here. Got that support, price closed below it, and then we came right back into the zone and pushed right back above. So now we're closing above this previous consolidation, right? Closing above it as well on the lower time frames, like the 4 hour. Got a nice close above. 4 hour actually closed with a with no top wick, but it did continue to push bullish, right? So we have a clean move to the left. Very simple. Are we coming right back up to 1822, or are we gonna exhaust around here, around this previous support, right? We're gonna exhaust, create some kind of a support anywhere in here. It could be anywhere. But are we going to create some kind of a support in here to continue right back up? I saw something that I did like on the 1 hour where we grabbed liquidity with this wick right over here, and it looked like we formed support. Looks like we formed support over here with this bullish candle. This candle over here created a bottom wick and then passed the high of this candle right over here. I like this formation a lot, right? Only thing is we just got to make sure that we are in a good area over here to the left, 1805.592. So that was a little halt in price over here. Also with this wick rejection over here. So this is a very strong level. What's up, Gio? How you doing, buddy? How was Vegas? I don't think your mic is working. So anyway, this is where we grab liquidity. If you look at these wicks right over here, See these wicks rejections? Got the same exact thing with this candle right here, right? Where we grabbed liquidity and we ended up holding support right here to maybe continue right back up. We are at 1808 right now. Where are we going to be heading? We got nice clean candles over here. Lower lows, lower highs over here. So are we going to mirror that after forming support right over here to continue right back up into this area up here at 1825? I know it's a big deal for us to be crossing 1800 right now. Are we going to continue right back up? Looks like price is struggling right now to break above that area. Let's get rid of some of this stuff because it is a little messy. You had this support formed right here with these candles, that high being created. Price closed right below that support over here, and then we closed right back into the range, signaling a fake out, liquidity grab to continue right back up. Now, price is struggling right now. It's starting to exhaust right now. Are we going to continue to consolidate and then continue right back up? I know we have some fundamentals coming out today, later on today, with ISM Services PMI coming out at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It looks like they're expecting worse than previous. So that could be signaling gold to consolidate until 10 o'clock, and then we get that push. That's manufacturing and services, both very important, but services signal the economy coming back healthy with people coming back into restaurants, hotels, people traveling again. That's all what services is. So let's see what we do over here. Looks like we're struggling to close above 1808 right now. We need a nice healthy close above that area for price to continue right back up. But for now, we could continue to consolidate over here until we get that news coming out. Sound good, guys?
Yeah.
Gio, I don't know if you can speak, but I just wanted to introduce you to Stipe as well, a new member to the team. Then I was just going to talk to you about the weekend.
What's up, brother? How's
There
it
he
going?
is. How was
Oh,
Vegas?
How are you?
Oh, doing right there. It was packed, man.
Was
I
it?
didn't even like we just did the drive-through on the strip, and it was packed. It was yeah. Vegas is back.
It's crazy. I mean, you know me with the city. I'm in the city almost every day. It is like Times Square is pretty much back, and that's without like international tourists.
Yeah. Same thing in Vegas. Like
Yeah.
you see, like I would say 80% of the people not wearing masks anymore, and yeah, it's super crowded during the holiday.
It's crazy. It's good to know. I mean, I'm glad we're kind of getting back to everything and kind of putting this behind us. It's starting to get old. Part of me feels like the this Delta variant. I don't know how serious it is, but then again, I don't know much about.
Yeah, people are people are tired already. Like they don't care anymore. There's whatever variant is there.
I mean, listen, we've been talking about it from the beginning with herd immunity, right? Like
Right.
it looks like that was our only like reason of hope, I guess you could say. It's just herd immunity. Like most people get it, they get over it, their immune system fights it, and then they're over it. And then plus, when you get majority of the population taking the vaccine, then it makes that herd immunity a lot easier because you don't have as many hosts walking around with the virus. So we're still rejecting this area. But glad you're back. Would you go with family?
Yeah. Yeah, my cousin bought a new house in Vegas, and that's where we spent the 4th of July.
Okay, good stuff. What's it called? Gio, you might be able to help Gary out a little bit. Gary's thinking about doing like a keto meal prepping.
Oh yeah, hey Gary, I thought you were ordering some keto stuff before from what is that? Meal Fresh?
Meal Fresh? Is that out in the UK?
Or I forget what's the name of the company.
Hello,
but I thought
hello
you were-
Fresh.
Oh, HelloFresh, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not keto though. It's just healthy eating.
Okay.
But
Oh, you can customize your what do you call this? Your like your protein, your macronutrients
uh,
portion.
no, it's all set meals. So like you go,
Oh,
it's like going to a restaurant basically. You get like a menu and you can choose so many meals for the week. And you can choose which ones you want.
It's like Eat Clean Bro. Have you heard of that, Gio?
eat clean?
Eat Clean Bro.
Nah, never heard of
It's famous out here on the East Coast. I met him back when he was first starting out. He was giving out samples in our gym, and now he's like, you got billboards all over the place. Athletes out in the New York area all use them. UFC fighters, basketball players, NFL players, they all use Jamie's Eat Clean Bro. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, but basically for keto, you just want to cut out the carbs. Like all the only source of carbs you should be eating is just from the trace carbs, except maybe from like vegetables, like the carbs coming from that. But nonetheless, you should be eating more of a healthy fat, like avocado,
Mm,
um,
nuts.
like nuts, whole eggs, salmon. Yeah, it should be
100%.
majority should be healthy fat.
Look who we got in here. What's up, Pat?
Well, sounds like I joined a cooking show.
Yes, you did. Talking about eating clean, I guess. Gary's thinking about doing like a keto company where he's sending out foods and but he's just trying to, feel it out, see how he's see what it takes to actually do something like this. Yeah,
Nice.
G
Nice.
said he'll message you on Slack.
That's
So
Yeah,
it looks
sure,
like
man.
we're exhausting over here on gold. Right now, like I said, you wanted a clean break and close above that resistance over here at 1808. Now it's starting to reject right now. Looking at the 4 hour, as you can see, strong 4 hour candle, strong 4 hour candle. This candle ended up passing the high of that candle right over here without creating a bottom wick, even though on the previous candles you didn't get much of a bottom wick. But now this candle is starting to get a little bit smaller, right? Starting to get a little bit more exhausted, especially after this candle right over here. It looked like we did form support with this bullish candle close directly after this candle, but maybe we're going to start to consolidate in here before ISM services come out at 10 a.m. But right now, again, like I said, I like this formation, but we need a close above 1808 before we could take this out and before we can rely on price continuing bullish. So right now it's a little rangy over here. Again, GJ, we'll go right back down to GJ. We want a nice close below support right over here. Significant support at 153, 270. You do have about 16 pips to play in here. Again, you could take riskier sells below the support, but safer sells are going to be below support right over here to mirror this 1 hour candle right over here to the left and continue right back down to 152, 800. Got about 50 pips right here. How you doing, Pat? What are you looking at?
Exactly the same thing that you just outlined now. And GJ, I've been waiting for, I'm waiting for price to break that 153 support, retest, and then I'll write it down.
There you go.
But yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. Are there like any fundamentals that's making price go haywire, or like
The only thing, we did get some strength on the Japanese yen. Where are we? Here we go. We did get this support over here at 89.60 formed on the Japanese yen, and this was some positives coming out of the U.S. with both of them being safe haven currencies. You got some positives pumping up the Japanese yen, but I don't think it's anything significant. It's not going to pump us up all the way, past this bearish trend that we've been in. Like everything is still sells on the Japanese yen, still very weak, still very behind on everything as far as COVID is concerned, far behind on vaccines and all that stuff. But we did get some strength pumping the yen right back up to 90.10. Are we going to hold this resistance or break above this previous support to continue right back up into this area? Or are we just going to consolidate over here with this strong bearish big belt, it looks like, to continue right back down to retest 89.60 or 89.50? Got David coming in. David, what's up? Oh, also, Pat, David, both introduce yourselves to Stipe. Stipe is from Croatia. Just joined the group. Good morning, David.
Hey, Stipe. Nice.
Hi
nice
guys,
to-
how are you doing?
Good. Lovely country you got there. I miss it. Amazing place.
Yeah, thanks.
You been?
Yeah. A few times.
That's awesome.
Really?
Dubrovnik, to be specific.
Oh, really nice. Yeah, Game of Thrones and stuff.
Yeah. Lovely people too.
Yeah,
Bruvnik?
Dubrovnik. Yeah,
Let's see.
Dubrddd. The first letter is D.
Yeah, B.
D.
Oh,
D
D.
like Dublin. DUB
Dubrovnik.
RO. DUBRO.
Croatia. Just gonna do this. Those are the crazy ass cities over here.
Nah. So
GUB.
DUB.
BRO.
R. The
yeah,
second
there you
one.
go.
The second one
There you
on
go.
the list.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're
Oh,
talking.
wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
man. A lot of
it's a
history
beautiful
too, I'm
place.
sure.
Gorgeous. Yeah. The whole coast is like that.
Just a bunch of castles.
Mainly, yeah.
That's amazing.
So there's like the inner city and the outer city. The inner city is like protected. No cars
UNESCO.
allowed. Yeah, it's really amazing.
That's amazing. I gotta get out there. I want to
Yep.
see. Where is? Yeah, let me put this real quick. Okay. Yeah, all these countries north of Greece. Yeah, Northern Macedonia, Albania, Croatia, Slovenia. So yeah, you guys are neighbors. You and
Yeah,
Matteo.
yeah.
There you go. Romania, Hungary. That's amazing, man. Got to come out and visit. Have you ever been to the U.S.?
No, but I have a plan to maybe.
Plan to?
Yeah, I maybe even come to. I have a plan to come to Canada, to Vancouver, but Corona kind of
Oh, yeah.
messed it up. So
Kind of threw your curveball, huh?
yeah.
Listen, you ever want to come out to New York? My home is yours. So
Okay,
that
appreciate
goes
it.
for all of you guys, as you know. So
Same for me here. So if you wanna come, so
would love to. My cousin, I know this isn't very close to you, but my cousin lived in Prague for 4 years. He moved out there,
Really?
loved it. He kind of wishes he was back there, but met so many different people. Ended up staying out there. He was teaching little kids English, and also he ended up getting into finance and into some kind of financial business. I don't know what it was, but
that's
yeah,
awesome.
he loved it. Loved it. So yeah, gold looking like we're not getting much over here. We are holding support over here on GJ, and like I said, if you guys have experience trading in ranges, I would suggest maybe holding out of this. But at the same time, you do have a big enough range where you could play the same play that we got right over here once we were at 153, 280, where we held support over here and made a bullish run over here. We had this fake out over here, came right back up into the range, held support over here at 153.280, and then continued right back up. Now we're retesting 153.280 for the third time. Are we going to hold the support? If you get that bullish close on the 1 hour, you can lower your risk and grab maybe 10, 15 pips out of this and close the full thing once it comes right back up to this previous support over here. I would honestly hold off, and I'm probably not going to be trading this. I'm just letting you know that this is something that you could possibly trade. But what I do like is the fact that we are breaking this bullish trend over here that we tapped multiple times. We broke it. What we could get right now is price forming support at 152 or 153.280, coming right back up into this area right over here, this key level right here, forming resistance, retesting it, and then continuing right back down. So if you get a resistance formed over here and you got these clean candles to the left, you could potentially take this, risk your sells up here. You lower your risk up here. Once we get in here, you could scale in. Once we get below the support, scale in, enter another position. Then we get below this support over here, scale in and enter another position as well, and continue this right back down to 152.800. But right now we just wait. We just sit, relax, talk to each other, see how the weekends were.
Steph, quick one.
Sure.
Do me a favor. Can you break down the monthly and weekly on GJ? I just want to see what your thoughts are.
Sure. Yeah, we just did, but let's do it again.
Okay.
So looking over here at the monthly again, as we were saying before, we are at 156, and 156 served as a very strong level over here. Previous support over here, previous resistance, but also, as we've been saying for months, we had this bearish trend over here on the macro scale of GJ, and now we're reacting to that area once more at 156, creating a strong monthly candle with a wick to fill, but it failed to close below these candle body highs over here. The open of this bearish candle and the close of this bullish candle. We never closed with something like this. Like if it closed like that with the wick to fill, that would tell me that, okay, we're probably coming right back down, right? But it didn't. It closed above those candle body highs over here, and maybe we're just rejecting that area, retracing a little bit, holding this support right here, and then continuing right back up.
Okay.
Because as I've been saying for a couple of weeks now, I want to see something like this, where we get that monthly candle rejecting those candle body highs, and then we get that candle pushing right back above. As Boris Johnson has been saying, you know, I take his word like a grain of salt because he keeps, you know, going back on some of these deadlines that he's having. So right now, I think if they do continue to open up the economy and move on to the next phase of the lockdowns in Great Britain, we should get a nice bullish candle on the monthly forming something like this, where you get this strong bullish candle, get this candle rejecting, grabbing liquidity a little bit, closing like a weaker monthly candle, bearish candle, and then the next one grabs liquidity and heads right back up to retest the highs of this area right up here, and then continues right back up. So could we get something like that right over here to continue right back up? It looks like the monthly already created a top wick though, and now flipped bearish. If you look at the weekly over here, we closed last week with a bearish candle over here, but it was a weaker body, right? We ended up closing this bullish candle, retesting this consolidation up here on the lower time frames, but ended up rejecting and closing right below this support over here. This candle ended up, you know, creating this top wick, coming all the way down and then retracing to close as a weaker bearish candle, but it is a weekly candle nonetheless. This candle created its top wick, never passed the high of that candle right over here, and now it's flipping bearish. Looking at the daily, it looks like we grab liquidity up here and then flip bearish, passing the low of these candles. This candle right here with this wick tells me, especially if we're passing the low of these candles, these weak bullish candles, not strong enough to hold a strong support, especially with this one flipping bearish. This tells me that we're going to come right back down and retest these lows. Looking at the 4-hour,
Okay.
again, we've been respecting this bullish trend, and we could break down what happened over here. So over here, oh, we don't want an alert. We had this bullish trend, nice retracement. We corrected this entire move over here. The negative news coming out of the US, we corrected the entire thing, consolidated it back into this range, and then closed right below. And then we ended up entering this bearish phase of GJ, where we push all the way down to 152.776, held support, formed a double bottom over here, and then started pushing bullish. Broke the resistance right over here, which was a previous support. Broke that resistance, continued right back up, kind of, retraced and retested that bearish trend, and then continued right back up. But now we're consolidating over here. So now, are we holding this resistance over here at 154, 153, 850 to continue right back down? But again, we need a strong close below the support for us to know that we're going to continue right back down. Let's get rid of these now. And if you look at the trend that you could be paying attention to right now, it's this one. The one that we are now breaking, that we respected multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Now we're closing below it. Again, like I said, we could very well come up and retest this area to continue right back down. But this is a nice, strong bearish candle to continue right back down to retest these lows and then continue right back down, because you got a nice move over here. Once we close below this double bottom over here, got a nice move to the left that you could be mirroring. But I think we need some negative fundamentals coming out of Great Britain for something like that to happen.
So overall, on the monthly, your bias is it's a bit bullish.
The only thing is, fundamentally, it's hard for me to sell GJ because Great Britain, it's a risk currency. Economies are opening back up. They are on pace right now to open back up in July. So it's hard for me to sell GJ. But technically, looking at the chart, we are a little bearish right now.
Yeah.
In the micro sense, not the macro sense. Macro sense, we are all bullish. We're moving up. And it's been very hard for me for months to actually sell GJ, other than like little scalps that we've been getting, or like little spurts of fundamentals where they had a deadline to open back up, and then all of a sudden they pushed it back, and that's a good area to sell. But other than that, risk currencies are all bullish. We're all pushing up. But right now, you got this strong bearish candle, and then the fact that this current monthly candle created a top wick already and now is flipping bearish tells me that there are probably some opportunities for us to sell, especially on the micro sense, where we are now breaking that 4-hour trend right over here. I'm not just going to sell it now, just because we're breaking it right here, but we are consolidating. We need price to close below that area before we take any kind of sell.
Cool. All right. Thanks, man. Second question. If you go to GJ 1 hour, right, you see that the recent movement over the past, you see like this strong bearish run.
This one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In your experience, right, how do you identify trend exhaustion, right?
So
yeah.
So I tend to view trend exhaustion when you start to see smaller candles. When you get like big candles on the higher time frames, right? You start to get these big candles right over here. Just we have this resistance forming. We are in this bearish trend over here. We're in this bearish trend right over here. We grab liquidity up here, form resistance at a previous support, and then we start to head down. But you see these big candles, big bearish candles over here. Then all of a sudden, we're in this bullish trend over here. You start to see price start to tire off with these candles right here, right? The long wicks and small candles. That's when I start to see that trend exhausting. And then you get this bullish candle right over here. We come right back down to retest that area. But the fact that this candle or this wick is higher than this wick. So this low is higher than this low, which tells me that the trend is starting to reverse a little bit, right? And start to push up. I'm not going to take buys down here, but once we break above and close above that nearest resistance, this might be a good telltale sign that we're going to continue bullish. And you could have caught this whole move out. Now, you could have caught this on the lower time frames over here, where this low again is higher than this low. That's a good indicator. You guys want to write that down or keep that in your mind, that when you see this low being higher than the previous low, that's a good indicator that this is a double bottom and the trend is going to reverse. And that's exactly what we got up here. And as we pointed out last week, this is a beautiful move that you could have grabbed this whole thing up. So we got this strong rejection. We got this close above resistance up here. This candle comes all the way down, retests this area, but ends up closing above resistance over here. This candle, strong rejection over here with a huge bottom wick. Candle ended up flipping bullish. Once this candle comes down, creates its bottom wick, and then passes the high of that candle right there, that would have been a nice entry. Something like this. Okay. Nice, beautiful impulse entry. Your stops below this wick, anticipating price to continue right back up. You would have been in this whole thing.
Because you know, one of the things that's like confusing my eyes a little bit is the fact that like a lot of exhaustion candles look like liquidity grabs.
Yeah, liquidity grabs are just wicks in the opposite direction. And then, you know, wick fills are when they're in the trend. So like right here, this candle, bearish candle right over here, closed a strong bearish candle with a wick right down here to fill, right? To continue right back down, because we are in this bearish trend. A liquidity grab is this right over here, where now we're starting to form this double bottom. We have this low, which is higher than the previous low over here. And then we get that close above the resistance, the retest of this area. Candle comes all the way right back down into this range over here, grabs liquidity, and then this candle heads right back up. So this is the liquidity grab. The wick fills are, you know, you get this bearish bullish close right over here with the wick to fill. We end up filling this wick. So that's the difference between the two.
Cool. All right.
But these are all great questions. I love, you know, when you guys have questions, it gives us something to talk about, because we're going for 3 hours on these live streams. If you guys have questions, other people have the same questions. I guarantee you, Pat, that, you know, a couple other guys had the same questions about that. They just didn't want to ask, you know. So
hey man, you know me, man. I love to get as much information as I can, and
hell yeah.
Anywhere where I am just slightly confused though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we could do this. What is the number one thing that you've been struggling with in the last like week or two?
So for me,
it's like we're holding the support.
So actually, you know, for me, it's and that's why like every time I come on, I ask you like, can you break down the monthly and weekly? Sorry, you say something?
No, I said yep. I was agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. You know, and so like I love to hear how you pretty much bring everything together.
Yeah.
You know, so I think if I were to think about it more clearly, at the moment, if I break it down, I'm struggling in like holding, how do I put it now? Having multiple biases at the same time. So let's say like monthly is looking bullish, but then weekly is looking bearish, but then daily is looking bullish. I'm struggling to like fit that all together. Okay. Without confusing myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was just writing that down. I think that's very common for a lot of people. Now, to be honest with you, are you more of a scalper or a swing trader?
Nah, day trader.
So intraday, you're saying?
Yeah.
Like you like to take a scalp in the morning and then hold that throughout the entire day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So the 4 hour and the 1 hour are your main. That's like your bread and butter. That's what you're mainly looking at. You're looking to get your entries maybe on the 30-minute, sometimes the 15-minute, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and you're right, the higher time frames do matter a little bit more to you than they would like the average scalper. So like if like I labeled myself a scalper where I'm only looking for 10 pips, the monthly time frame doesn't really matter that much. Yes, you like the idea of where price is going on the higher time frames, but when it comes to scalping trades, the higher time frames like the monthly, the 12-month, or the yearly, it's not really gonna do much for you. You don't really need to. Don't let that like
Okay.
ruin your lower time frame bias. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Like it's very important, and it's the higher confluence of time. But the thing is that every single time frame is the same exact thing. Only difference is time. We always talk about that. Now, as you get down into the lower time frames, you start to see candles flip. Like right here, we are consolidating on the higher time frames in here on the 4 hour, the daily. But right now, you're starting to see the weekly flip over here. It's starting to flip bearish. Yes, we're very bullish on GJ over here, still pushing bullish. We're probably getting a very similar corrective phase as we got right over here, where we reached our highs right up here, 153, 200. Do you remember being in this and us saying how important 152 was, 153 was? Yeah, and then all of a sudden we grabbed liquidity down here, held support, and then we made that massive bullish run right back up to 156. So right now, did we create 156 like we did 153, 200? Created the high to come right back down to retest these lows over here, retest these lows to continue right back up. Now, these are very weak body candles right now, right? I mean, we're only at Tuesday of the weekly. So let's see how strong this candle ends up being. But this is a weaker bearish candle. But to me, if you saw this on the 30-minute, what would you be doing? What would you be looking at?
So if I saw what exactly?
If you saw this setup, this is the weekly, but if you saw this setup on the 30-minute, what would this tell you?
Pretty much I would be looking for price to maybe break that resistance and then retrace and then take it up, potentially take it up to the trend line, or so I'm just trying to see.
Let me get rid of these trend lines too, so it's easier for you.
Yeah, just the lines are confusing me a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I hate having a crowded chart. I don't mind breaking down again or drawing more zones just so that I can have that clean chart to look at.
Yeah. So yeah, I would my bias would mostly be bullish because I really don't like going counter trend. So my bias would overall be bullish, but if I were to take a safe sell, then it would be at 152 upon the break, like 152. That's for me personally.
Okay, I like that. So you wouldn't sell until price breaks 152 down here.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you take a lower risk sell now that price came all the way up here, created this high, comes all the way down, breaks this previous support over here that we created, little liquidity grab, and then we had that support created, higher low, and then price just pushed up all the way up to 156. But now we just broke below that. This candle ends up retesting the area, but then still closing below this area over here. But now you get this bearish candle closing with a wick to possibly fill. This candle creating its top wick already, and now we're starting to flip bearish. You wouldn't see maybe a potential sell right back down to this support? Like
So,
I'm saying I know you don't like the counter trend, but would you be comfortable, risking like 0.5% or 1% right over here with a riskier sell, and then you could scale in once we break below 152 to get more pips, and you could risk even more down here to continue right back down. Because if we break 152, there's a good possibility we should be coming right back down to 150 or well, move this out of the way. 149,500.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So just given how high risk it is, I personally wouldn't take the trade, and that's like because of where I am right now.
Yep.
You know, I think like with a lot more experience, like a lot more, what do you call it, like consistency in terms of wins, then I would open myself more. I would open myself up more to high risk trades, but for now, I just go with like confirmations. You know, like
Yeah.
what looks good and feels good for me. However, if you go back to that previous analysis that you just did on the, so I think it was on the weekly where you were saying the way it looks now, would I take it?
I just wanted to check over real quick.
Sure, sure. So I think one thing that I wasn't considering it was, you see that, would you call that a doji, like that small body with like long wicks on either side?
This
No,
one?
further, yeah, that one.
Yep.
So
It's a doji.
So when I was looking at that, right, because like the body was so small, the canvas was like so small, I didn't really consider it like a support or resistance level, sort of thing. I just completely ignored that. But from what you're saying is like, no, like it's important.
Well, there's a couple different things that you're looking at. You're looking at the candles, and then you're also looking right, and you're looking at the price. 154, that's a psychological level. Once we broke above that level, it's like, all right, damn, we're now above 154, and at the time, that's historical highs on the yearly, right? So we finally break above 154. Do banks want to bring this below 154, or are we going to respect it as now a strong zone that now we're going to hold this as a support and then continue right back up? And that's exactly what it did. It failed, as you can see with this wick, it failed to break and close below 154 on the weekly. These are strong candles here. And obviously we had a very rangy week right over here with this week right here. And then the next week we pushed all the way up to 156. And the reason we had that push right over here, this weekly over here, this was that first consolidation that we were looking at for about a week or two. And then we got talks about increasing interest rates coming out of Great Britain, and that's what pushed us out of that consolidation. So again, I'm very bullish on GJ as well. Maybe we're in this area right now, these previous candle body highs, maybe we hold support over here and then continue right back up.
Okay.
Right? And we could be very right with that. But right now, you just wait for levels on the lower time frames. You get that idea from the weekly, right? Then you go down to the daily and you see that the higher time frames are really rangy right now. Maybe it's not worth trading. As you can see, 153, 500 is a very significant level over here. Previous support. Now a new resistance over here. It looks like price wants to continue down, but we're ranging. You're getting a higher low or higher high over here, then all of a sudden a lower low, higher high, higher high. Now it's passing the low of these candles. We're just ranging in here on the daily. So do you really want to trade this? I mean, in my opinion, not so much. I'm cool with staying out of this.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, you look at these levels over here. You look at the fact that we were respecting this trend over here. Now we're breaking below, but this isn't your main confluence. This is your main confluence. Right over here. Waiting for price to break below that support, and then you can continue right back down.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Let me show you something. Sorry, I hope I'm not hogging.
No. I love it. Keep it going, man. People are learning from this. The more discussion that we have and open discussion, the better.
Yeah, I love it too.
Good shit, man. What's up, Carlos?
Yes. How y'all doing, guys?
Carlos, meet Stipe. He's a new member of the group from Croatia. We're just checking out that beautiful country over there.
Hello, Steve. How you doing?
Hi, brother. Doing fine. How about you?
I'm good. Nice to meet you.
Carlos is down in New Orleans.
Yes,
great.
I'm in Denver right now.
Nice. Mile high.
Yeah, man. It's 2 hours behind. It's crazy, but I'm here.
There you go. So Pat, you wanted to show us something?
Yeah, so I wanted to ask your opinion on something that I'm checking out, right?
Sure.
And shit, I saw it. So I think it was on the weekly. If you can go back to the weekly, please, on
course.
GJ.
Yep. Let's get rid of this. There you go.
All right. So
And then if you want to annotate, you're more than welcome.
yeah, cool. So one of the things I'm checking out, I'm trying to understand a bit better, right, is when you have a fake out like this, right? And obviously price has passed it, and let's say price is retracing back into this zone, right? I'm trying to understand, I'm trying to see in the markets if I should anticipate a fake out as, like how likely is it that a fake out will become a new resistance, or a new support. Sorry, in this case, how likely is it that this resistance fake out will become a new support, or will price most times go back to like where you see multiple rejections and establish that as like a new support? I don't know if I'm making sense.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can like reword that. So from what I'm understanding, you're saying like a candle like this, like rejecting this whole area over here. Is that correct? Like, how do we know that price isn't gonna just retrace over here and then form support here and then continue up? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, versus here. So
Versus closing all the way down here.
No. So let me go back. So you see this candle here. How do I delete? Let me delete everything first.
There you go.
Okay. You see this movement here? You see that?
Yep.
We can consider that a fake out, right?
The fact that it came right back below 152.
Yes.
On the higher time frames. Yeah, that's a fake out.
Yeah, okay. So what I'm saying is, when price came all the way up here, and then it's coming back down to retest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, during like that retest phase, I'm trying to understand if in most cases, price will come back and create support at a fake out level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if it will come back and most likely use a more accurate, like previous resistance, because here we had multiple touches.
And ignore that fake out?
Yeah, and ignore that fake out, yes.
Okay, so on the lower time frames, yes. I think on the higher time frames, no matter if it's a fake out or not, this right here is a very significant level.
Okay.
Right? So on the lower time frames, like the 30-minute, the 15-minute, yeah, maybe it'll come back down to this area instead. But on the higher time frames, the higher the time frame, the stronger the level, or the stronger the confluence of where those candles are closing or rejecting. Right? So again, price is going to react to this level. Did it do so over here? No, we pushed right through it, just right back down to these levels over here, like you're saying, right?
Yeah.
But right now, we are rejecting that level with this candle right over here. It looked like we pushed all the way below, trying to get right back down to 152, and it failed. We closed above these highs over here at 153. I got to see what level that is. Let's ignore this. 153, 250. 153, 500, you could say. But anywhere in this zone over here. Now price is rejecting it. And now it looks like price is trying to break below and fill this wick. So we'll see just how strong this level is.
Okay.
But one thing, like, I pay attention to different like trigger words, and the way you were wording it as far as like anticipating a fake out, you can very well anticipate a fake out, but at the end of the day, you just need to see it happen. Like you can't, like you need to anticipate the break and retest instead of the fake out. Do you know a fake out can possibly happen? Yeah, but you don't want to always look at the negative of what's going to happen with this pair. Does that make sense? I don't think I worded that correctly actually, but the fake out, if the fake out happens, it happens, and if price closes right back into the range, it happens. That's why most of the time you want to wait for the retest, unless you get clean candles to the left and you get a nice clean close above the resistance, you can take that right up with your stop loss right back into in the zone. And now when price starts coming right back into that zone, since you didn't wait for the retest, then you got to manage risk the right way.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, when it comes to fake outs, you just got to be fluid in the market. You got to be, you know what could happen. You know what you're looking for. You have your plan, and that's it. And you don't deviate from that plan whatsoever.
Absolutely. That's why like I don't. Yeah, I've limited like impulse entries. I always wait for confirmations because I really am trying to limit as many fake outs as I used to get because I used to drive me fucking insane. Yeah, but now I'm just trying to understand if like in a retest, if price would respect a previous fake out zone.
Yeah,
sort of
higher time frames, definitely.
Okay, all right.
Definitely, I would definitely be like, just because this is a fake out right here, I'm definitely gonna be looking at this area over here as a possible rejection area.
Okay.
Or a retest area where price wants to retest that level and then continue right back up, which it could be doing right now. I mean, this was fundamentally driven coming right back down to 150. Then we had that fake out. This was a Sunday. Opening up Sunday, we closed over here June 14th, and then we ended up opening over here. The London, pre-London, ended up closing above and faking out 152 and continuing right back up. But now it looks like we're kind of rejecting this area, and we'll see. We could very well continue down and fill this wick, and this looks like the perfect setup over here. But you need to wait for different levels on the lower time frames to close and react to. But this is just nasty. Like it's not worth trading in this.
Yeah.
We've had some nice, like this is what you guys want to trade. You want to trade this move. You want to trade this move. You want to trade this move. This over here, all we're doing, you need to get excited for this because you know that we now have a possible move. After we consolidate, the more we consolidate, the higher the move, the higher the breakout. We had consolidation periods over here, and then finally, with so much consolidation, we just broke out. And we corrected the entire move. Tons of liquidity, tons of money being pushed around over here. And then over here, this move as well. So now we're consolidating and waiting for a move like this, The problem is most people, don't understand the idea of not having to trade or not having to take a trade when it's in any of this. This is where people blow their accounts. Then they take a loss. Maybe they get wicked out or something. They have to manage their loss. Then they're like, damn, I want to take another one. I think this is just going to continue up. Like, right? We formed support over here, formed a nice double bottom. We should continue up. Created this high up here. Maybe we're just grabbing liquidity down here to continue right back up. But no, it's just consolidating. You're trying to tell yourself you're seeing things, but you're really not. That's why I kind of coined that manufacturing trades where you're seeing things, but you're not. But it looks like we were holding support over here, right? And now we're starting to flip bearish and break below that area. I'm in no rush to take an impulse entry over here. Let's neaten this up.
Would you be more just wary because of like the extended bearish run that we've had?
the worry of selling.
Yeah.
So with this just isn't my setup. So what I would want, and plus this is such a significant zone over here, right? This area over here, this area over here, previous rejections over here. Now what I would like is for if this bearish candle, I'll draw it for you. If we got something like this, so like if this candle over here was actually this candle that ended up closing with a wick right here, and then you get the next candle over here, which is like a small body with a wick that's rejecting that area. I would love to take an impulse entry, and this is what I look for all the time. Once we create this top wick and then pass the low of this candle right here, this is where I would enter a sell right here to fill this wick and then continue right back down. Now, this could very well play out, but I would rather have price close below the support, especially in the higher time frame range, to then continue down. Sometimes I would take this if we were in a trending market, like a major trending market where price just, like what we were seeing on the higher time frames before with some of those trendy candles. But with this on the higher time frames, I'd rather wait for the close below this, because this is going to be a risky sell no matter what anyway, coming right back down to retest these lows. The safer sell will be below support over here. You could very well catch these 16 pips over here, but wait for candles to close in this area. Wait for a nice strong bearish candle. Next candle comes up, retest over here. Then you could take this thing down. But the safer sells will be below 153, 100.
Cool. All right.
David's already in GJ sells. Where'd you take it from, David? Again, I do like this setup, but again, on the higher time frames, I just want to make sure that we are closing below that area. 330. Take it from up here. Okay. Good stuff. So it's 744 right now. Now we're getting the volume on GJ over here. So let's see the 15-minute. So the 15-minute created this resistance up here, but again, we're at this support, significant support over here. Move that right there. I want to see a top wick formed over here on the 15, closes in a minute, and take this thing down. So this may be our play today. Let's journal this. Again, I'm not going to risk much on this just because of the higher time frame range, but Matej, how you doing, buddy? You getting back in the swing of things?
Slowly.
Slowly? There you go. Slow and steady. You feel rusty at all?
Not as much as I expected, but yeah, for sure. But I thought I would be more rusty, but it's. I feel good.
There you go. Well, you were watching the market a little bit, right? Or you
Yeah,
just
sure,
totally
yeah.
stepped away? Okay.
Yeah, I was just observing, but nothing much than that.
Good stuff. Okay, so this is David's chart over here. Marked off this order block over here, and you're anticipating a further drop to the low over here. We are below these EMAs. Okay. Nice, buddy. Yeah, Yeah, I like the fact that the 1 hour right here created that top wick and now it flipped bearish. So we could very well be coming below here. 7, here we go. So 15-minute candle created its top wick over here. Ooh, gold might be the move instead. So is GJ over here coming to retest this area to then continue down? Now let's look at gold real quick too. Actually, before we do that, let me just journal these. 60.
When you're done with gold, I have a question on like the GJ 15-minute.
Sure. You get asking now.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
Cool. So let me annotate real quick.
Of course.
Would you not consider, you see this area?
No, you could keep going. Oh, my bad.
No,
There you go.
this area here, would you not consider this like some kind of exhaustion of the trend?
With the smaller wicks, yeah, absolutely, on the 15-minute. But then if you go to the higher time frames, let's see, you got this candle right over here. This candle grabs liquidity up here and then flips bearish with no bottom wick. It's very tricky because you're in a consolidation on the higher time frames, right? So when it comes to looking at wicks and candles, that's why you typically want to stay out of trades like this or ranges like this. We had this strong zone over here, price closed below it. Got that strong close below. You got maybe like a little retest over here, this area right here. It looks like price wanted to close below 153,400 with this candle. This candle looks like it retested, but it failed to close above this level of 153,400. Let's see the 15-minute. Okay. So then we finally got that close below 153,400 on the 30-minute. And that should tell you that price should come right back down to at least 153,260.
Okay.
So now those of you that trade GJ know that this is our strong volume time right before 8 o'clock. Normally get a strong push. Now I think we may be missing gold. Yep. Yeah, that's tough. I would have taken this. We were so focused on GJ, we missed gold.
Oh, man. I feel bad. Sorry about that, man.
It's not your fault. We should have been going back and forth. This is how I would have caught this trade over here on gold. I'm just trying to see where our target is. Yeah, next target should be 815, I would say. Right now, we are in this area over here, this previous support. So I think we should be coming up to 1824. We have a long way to get there, but right over here, we do have this area that we want to be aware of. That's what it looks like. It's making that push, that 750 push to continue right back up. This would have been, see, that would have been a 1-to-1 already. You would have secured at 20 pips. Anyone grab gold by any chance? No? Okay. No problem. You get plenty of those moves. Now you see why I didn't take GJ over here? How we just rejected this whole area?
Yep.
Now, this is a very significant support over here. So that's why I wanted price to close below that area instead of just passing the low of this candle. Again, like I said, if this candle closed below, then you got that bullish candle below support, and then the next candle passing the low of it, that would have been valid to take that down. But the fact that this is a support, we need price closing below that area. But this is a great trade for you guys to journal on gold over here.
How's your funding challenge going?
Pat, were you saying something?
Yeah, I was saying, how's your funding talents challenge?
Oh, good. I ended Friday with 2 losses, but I'm down to like 24. I'm down 0.9%, so I could easily make that back.
Okay. How does it like like on funding talent? It talks about like the elite account.
Yep.
And that's where you are eligible to like an 80-20 split or even more.
Mhm.
What is the difference between the elite account or the elite account and the other
The challenge.
the regular stuff?
So the challenge, you try to beat the challenge to get the elite account, so that you have that 80-20 split and it's real money and all that good stuff. With the regular elite account, you pay a monthly. You don't have to beat any kind of challenge. You just pay them monthly to get the funds.
Got you. Okay.
Now, I know James would be able to answer that a little bit better. I don't know if he's still in here. But James actually works for Funding Talent, so he'd be able to really fill you in on the way they operate.
I was just exploring it out of curiosity.
I think it makes sense. I mean, I've always been back and forth on funding companies. But when you can leverage that to create your own bigger account, down the road to trade with that, you can have like 3 or 4 different challenge accounts, I believe. So why wouldn't you leverage that to make more money? I know there's been a ton of people that have tried to talk me into it in the past, and I'd rather just trade my own money. But after speaking to a couple other traders that I respect or that I've kind of come up with, and they're doing really well, they said that's exactly what they're doing. I was like, you know what, might as well try it.
Yeah, I remember like I remember asking you, and I never quite understood because I felt like you have everything, like mastered to a degree, like emotions, psychology. You're not chasing money,
Mm-hmm.
but like like everything is healthy. Your approach to trading is healthy. So then, in my head, it just made sense that why wouldn't you leverage this opportunity, sort of thing. If we don't know shit about trading, and you're like, you're chasing the paycheck because you see like the ability to use funds, then that's a different story.
Yeah, and it goes right back to switching your mindset and switching your brain to a different thought process of leverage instead of I don't want to give this company 20% of my profits, and that was the whole mindset in my mind, where it's like I don't want to be attached to a company. Whole reason I got into trading was so that I wouldn't be attached to anybody else but myself and my own decisions. That whatever decision I make in the market, it's because of me. It's because of what I've done, not any other company. So with being able to leverage that's the mindset that you want to be in. Especially if it's only, I don't know, what's the challenge, like $150, and if you know that you could pass it, it's like, why not do it?
Yeah.
And they make it very easy for you too, and also like they don't have that time limit on the challenge as well. So like they give you 30 days to complete the first phase of it, but you could technically complete the first phase in the first week or two, and they'll give you the next phase right away. You just send them an email, which is cool. So you could pass both phases of the challenge in a week, technically, instead of waiting for 3 months. That's what I love about it.
pass it in a day if you're risky enough.
What's up?
You can pass the challenge in a day if you're risky enough.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like they wouldn't be able to get a good sense on who you are as a trader if that's what it was. You know, you could just be any Joe Schmo risking 20% on a trade, win that trade, and you know, send them an email. I'm ready to go. They send you your money, and then all of a sudden you're not that profitable. You know. See.
I really wonder how they work. Like, do these guys start up with like a huge base of capital?
They probably use liquidity providers like brokers. I mean, I know the two girls. They definitely don't have the kind of money to be sending out hundreds of thousands of dollars to people, millions. I think someone just got $1 million. Or actually, don't take my word. I'm not even gonna say it because I don't know that for sure. But I heard some crazy number. Somebody got paid out. But the whole thing with the funding companies as well that I was iffy about was their reputations. And I was hearing about FTMO keeping you on a demo account when you're not really on, you're not really trading real money, and they think you are, and then they don't pay you out. So I'm hearing all the bad reputation of these funding companies, but then Funding Talent came around and ended up hopping on the live stream with all of us. And we all asked some questions, and they were more than happy to answer them. Very cordial, very professional. And I liked them a lot. And I knew I wanted to tie myself to this company in somehow, some way, because I liked their reputation. I just didn't want to use a funding company yet. I just liked their reputation. I heard a lot of great things too from other people. So now I'm actually using them.
And the last episode on Trading Nut was such a goodie.
Uh-oh. Did I miss it? Let's
The
see.
last podcast. No, it came out, I think, last week, Thursday.
I may have listened to it.
Yeah, something about why. Like, always ask
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a lot of really good points.
Man, like I love for me, I love the part where it was like, a mind hack or a mental hack for trading. Like, if you hate your day job, or you're struggling with your day job, is like, just think about it from the perspective of you're being paid at your day job to learn how to trade.
Yep.
I really love that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, he had a lot of great points. But when it comes to your why, we talk about it all the time, right?
Yep.
And it could be anything. But the main thing it's got to be is proving yourself right. Because you're in the hardest market in the world and you're putting all your time into this. You're sacrificing relationships and everything else that you're doing, and you got everything going on in your life. There's a lot of sacrifice going there, especially as any kind of entrepreneur, not just a trader. But when you tell people you're a trader, maybe sometimes you get that like, oh, like this guy's a gambler, or like maybe there's a bad reputation in their mind, a bad connotation with being a trader. And they think that's just gambling and you're not going to get anywhere. I'm sure there's a lot of parents out there that are like that. 8 o'clock just turned around. Let's check GJ. So GJ ended up closing above that area. And that's what I'm talking about with making sure the price closes below levels that you want it to close below. Trias price past the high. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna draw on this. Okay. Stipe, we didn't talk about it. Have you been journaling?
No.
Okay, cool. So we'll go over that on our Zoom and get to the bottom of that. Same thing with Carlos, right?
Yes, sir.
So probably would have secured at 1-to-1, 22 pips. How was everyone's July 4th?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
We have any Americans in here?
I
Damn.
was actually in DC for July 4th.
Nice. Damn,
I
you're all
was-
over the place.
Yeah, I had to take a little breather.
Nice.
Oh, but yeah, it was
See, now
different.
you're in Colorado?
Yeah.
Nice. 30% at 22 pips. All right. So yeah, we're approaching 1812 over here. I think a lot of banks have that targeted as well. Here, let's actually see this. Yeah, so I was reading this article before. So banks were eyeing 1800 over here, but this is kind of a good outlook on why gold is bullish right now. So bullion, I don't know why they call it that, is bolstered by a weaker US dollar, which makes the precious metal more appealing to holders of other currencies. The latest US non-farm payroll report strengthened the prospects of the US economic recovery, yet the pace of job growth didn't appear to have reached a level that would prompt the Fed to tighten quickly. So we got positive US non-farm payrolls coming out last Friday or the Friday before that. But then we didn't get the strong job recovery. As you guys know, as we talked about before, when the government is paying people not to work, it's not a healthy economy. That's not good. Our economy is run on business, on small business, and people paying for goods and services all over the U.S. And if no one's working in there, no one's actually making money. They're making money from the government, which is printed money, stimulus money, but not actual earned money, earned income. So that's not good. So it looks like right here we are either holding support over here or maybe creating a top wick to continue down. David, are you selling this? Yeah, the 1 hour ended up closing bullish as well. This is where you want to look at, what was price doing in this area previously? Stop loss at break even. Beautiful. What did price do at 153, 270 previously? We created that support and we continue right back up. We came right back down. We ended up faking this area out and then closing right back above with the wick to fill, ended up filling that wick without fail. And, got that strong bullish movement over here. So is the 1 hour creating its bottom wick over here to continue up? Or are we creating a top wick to continue down? 30-minute looks beautiful if this support wasn't here. Does that make sense? Like I would be in this right now if this was all right below the support.
Steph, how's the dog?
What was that, Gary?
How's the dog?
Oh, it's great. Great little guy over there. You guys want to see he's great. I don't know if you can see this, can you? Dude, he's 3 pounds. I could toss him across the room. He wouldn't even know it. You're crazy. We caved.
Is he at yours now?
Yeah, he's in the other room.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to bring him over? Bring him over? I think he might be sleeping right now. What's it called? I have this philosophy when it comes to relationships. I'm sure you guys would agree, but I actually, maybe you wouldn't agree with this part, but I strongly believe in, couples moving in together before getting married, just to see what it's like to live with each other, because that's a whole different game, right? So when you're in a relationship for a year or two, you guys could be all fine and dandy, and then you move in together and you find out like maybe we're not compatible, maybe we can't live with each other, right? So I think that's a strong test before you get married. Obviously, different religions and cultures, people are very against that. I understand that, but this is just my philosophy and what I think a healthy relationship, a long distance relationship, just say we talk about with trading, you look at the long term instead of the short term. But when it comes to having kids, like we're on that next step where we've moved in together. We've lived with each other for a couple of years now. We're great with it. So now the next test is kids. But before you have kids, I think you should have a pet. And a real pet, not a bird, not like a hamster, like an actual dog or a cat that you need to watch over. It's almost like having half a kid. But this is just my philosophy, where you kind of prepare yourself for the next step and set yourself up for success. Obviously, it's not the best financial decision, but we got a couple streams of income, so it's all right. So it looks like gold came right back to support over here, right back to entry. So I would have been stopped at break even after securing 80% at 20 pips. I'll do this with you guys on your individual Zooms, Carlos and Stipe, but just take a look at how I journal some of these trades. This is Trello, by the way. Have you guys seen Trello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Trello, great program for you to journal your trades. I know Trixie is really good too. I honestly might have used Trixie if I first came across it, but I first came across Trello and everything is organized in here, and I look at my trades every day. So everything's already organized. There's no point of switching over. Plus, I'm happy with it. But over here, what I do, I'll take you through a little tutorial, and then we'll do it individually as well. But you create a card, you create a column over here. Now you could set this up however you want, but I set it up by week, right? So I have the week over here. Let's see. Oh, what about June? This is July. I knew that looked weird. So when it's opening a new card, what kind of trade is this? Is this a long or a short? Long obviously buys, short is a sell. So this would have been long XU, which is gold, plus 22 pip miss. So I missed this. If it was an actual trade, it would have been a gain. So 22 pip miss on the date, 7/26/21. Oh no, 7/6. Why did I say 26? 21 at. This would have been. You want to find the exact time that you would have taken this trade. So it probably would have been after this candle closed on the 15-minute. So probably would have been at around 8 o'clock. But was it exactly 8 o'clock? Or was it? It looks like 7:45 over here. Yeah, 7:45. Actually, I want to take another screenshot. You want to take screenshots on multiple time frames as well. Here's what the 30-minute looks like. All right, 15-minute. Wow, look at that liquidity grab. You got one of the 15-minute. Cool. 5 minute real quick as well. I'm thinking about taking hold on. I like this retest over here.
Gold's confusing me a little bit.
Yeah, this is something I'm gonna journal like I am right now. I don't like the fact that this wick came all the way down and past the low. We could very well consolidate over here, and plus our target. That's a good call, Gary. Our target up here was 1812, and now we're starting to approach it. But why was it 1812? Go right back to, and this is why it's so important to check multiple time frames multiple times through your session. But 1812 is this whole area. Previous resistance, support, this consolidation area over here as well, rejection area. So you want to be aware of this area right here. And now we're approaching it. So no need to jump into it. We got Rory coming in. So yeah, this is a little nasty over here. We could very well continue to consolidate in here.
It's the DXY that's getting me though. It's like the
it's
new
like
4
that.
hours starting to flip bullish as well. So
Wow, look at this gap on the Japanese currency index. Came all the way up. That's what we were talking about. So you should see a little drop on GJ, or continued drop. Yeah, it looks like on the dollar over here, the dollar right now is holding this resistance on the 1 hour.
the 4 hours just flip bullish.
The 4 hour did?
Yeah.
Yep. 4 hour flip bullish.
Strong bullish
Following,
candle as well.
yep, following the strong bullish candle. So are we continuing right back up? We rejecting this area right here?
But that means that gold should be dropping, doesn't it?
Yes.
Which is not.
Sometimes they move opposite of each other or along with each other. Better yet, let's see the current Treasury index. I mean, with the Treasuries falling, that could be another further confluence that gold is going to continue to rise. See this? We're breaking below support. We're breaking below 145%. It's crazy. Value of the dollar is just dropping. Stipe, you following along with everything? Like, is it? Are we clear?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. Do you have any questions?
No, for now, no.
For now, no. Cool.
Yeah.
When it comes to the journaling, does that make sense at all?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not done yet. Let me let's see. So then you do the time. We took that around 7:45 a.m. and then you just do the day, Tuesday, New York. So then you take these. No, that's GJ over here. There we go. So you just take it, copy, paste it, and you label it. 30-minute entry. Delete that. Next one. Secure 80% ads. Minute. So Stipe, what you want to do is continue to journal these trades, either the ones you missed, the ones you won, or the ones you lost, and then make it a habit every day. You'll see it in the course. We have a daily must list that you need to get done every single day. before your head hits the pillow at night, you need to get all these things done on that daily must list. We could put one together when we're on our Zoom. But one of them could be looking over 5 previous trades every single day, keeping your eyes fresh. And you just want to think of yourself as a professional, right? You're a professional business owner. You're a professional athlete. You're a professional trader. So this is something that like you need to make sure that you're putting everything into and also studying like a professional. Like I don't know if I played this for you. No, I played this for Rory the other day. There's this video of you follow NBA basketball at all?
Sometimes.
Okay, so you know who Kobe Bryant is?
Yeah.
Cool. So there's this video of him explaining what it was like playing and studying Michael Jordan. I have it here. Give me a second. But listen to what he's saying and try to think about trading in the same sense of what he's talking about with basketball.
I marveled at wasn't the fact that he was getting to the rim and doing these fancy stuff. It was like, how is he getting to the rim? How is he doing it? Right? You look at the footwork, look at the fundamentals, look at the spacing, the pacing, right? And all those little things.
So with that mindset, that's why it took Kobe to being arguably top 3 of all time, right? Just thinking why is that happening? Why are the candles doing what they're doing? Whether it's studying someone else's strategy, okay, why is he taking profit there? Why is he securing his loss or cutting his loss short right where he did? Right? Continue to ask questions and be so curious of everything that you see and watch. All right, David, have a good day at work. All right, buddy? I'll see you soon. That's the key right there. It's just being so curious of what's going on. Now, there's a difference. And I actually want to make a video on this, but there's a difference between strategy hopping and also learning from different strategies. Like I said in here, I'm not teaching you how to trade like I am. Like, I know we trade very similarly because you trade like Raquel, but I'm not teaching you how to trade the way I do. I'm teaching you to think the way I do. Those are 2 different things. I'm teaching you to keep yourself calm in the markets and understand that you have a plan and all that. But when it comes to your strategy, I know that we look at the market way differently than each other. There are similarities, but you're going to secure at different points that I do. You're going to manage risk in different ways than I do, right? Now, what you need to do is study, whether it's something that makes sense to you, a certain subject, like, if you want to learn fibs a little bit more, first learn how to read basic price action. You're only 6 months in, so you want to be able to master price action, and then you can add those different things. But when it comes to strategy, or when it comes to like adding different things in your trading, you want to learn and pull from people's different strategies and then implement into your strategy exactly what makes sense to you. But first, you need to backtest that for 3 to 6 months of market data. I'm not saying you need to sit there for 5 to 6 months and study it. What I'm saying is go back on a simulator. Do you have Soft4fx by any chance?
No, for now, no.
You do have it?
No. I said no.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Highly recommend getting it. It's a simulator, just like the real market. I'll show it to you when we're on our Zoom. I attest a lot of either my success or anything to having that simulator and kind of setting me on the right track, especially during COVID. I was able to get on that simulator for at least 3 hours a day. That's all I was doing. What's up, Tiger?
How's it going?
How you doing, buddy? How was vacation?
Oh, it was great. Finally glad to be back.
Nice little getaway, huh?
Yo, yeah.
That's awesome. Tiger, we have a new member in here, Stipe from Croatia.
How's it going, man?
Great. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm glad to have you.
Thanks.
Hey, glad you're back, Tiger. It's awesome. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. Hear a lot of great things.
Yeah, we went to one of the smaller islands, so it was more of like we were like just isolated from everyone else.
Yeah.
Just wanted to go for the beach.
Which island?
Kauai.
Kauai? The
Yeah.
northern ones?
I'm not sure. I think it's towards like a little bit more east, like towards the end of the tail.
Okay. Good stuff. So it looks like we got our fake out over here on GJ. Now let's look at what we were saying before that we could possibly get. See, this is that setup I was telling you guys about where, you know, if you did want to trade in this, you can play this range. It's just very tricky and it's more risky than, you know, if you were to be trading a typical setup. But we broke, let's see. We broke the yeah, there we go. I knew that was off. Get the 1 hour, just make sure that's right. Okay, cool. So now we knew price in some form or some way was going to react to this support over here. I thought maybe we would get that close below, but we ended up getting that wick rejection. So now what happened was we ended up breaking this bullish trend, closed below it. We now created this low down here. So now are we coming up to retest this order block over here to the left? Are we coming up to retest that order block and also this bullish trend over here? This being our key area right here. Are we coming up to retest this area, create like a resistance, and you could possibly take a sell from here, anticipating price to continue to drop all the way back down to 152.80. These are going to be risky sells. And to be honest with you, I would honestly stay out of this, most of you. And, you know, you could take even, you know, also risky sells if we do break this support, but they are safer than if you were taking them up here. This is just basically best price that you could possibly grab up here if you are looking for sells. Again, let's look at the higher time frames just to get another idea of where we're at.
That was a perfect morning star formation as well.
Morningstar. Oh yeah, with the hourly.
Yeah.
What just happened to my? I guess I deleted everything by accident. See the weekly over here. Like I said, we created that top wick over there. Then we flipped bearish. So how is this weekly going to finish? Are we going to continue bearish over here? Or are we going to hold the support like Pat and I were talking about with these previous highs over here to the left? Are we going to hold the support over here to continue right back up? Or are we coming right back down to fill this wick? Again, we're consolidating in here. Do you want to be trading in this when you know you have these moves, this move right here, this move right here? Now we're consolidating. But now's the time to get excited because you know you could grab a nice breakout trade. Looks like the weekly, which is interesting, or the daily, which is interesting, came down and created this bottom wick. Now we just rejected, and now we're right above the open of this candle, this bullish candle. Looking at the 4 hour now. 4 hour is now above the support over here. Let's see something.
So if that 4 hour closes like that and the next one breaks its high.
Right here?
Yeah.
I mean, that might be a nice move. Riskier move. But if we get a nice close above this support over here and a nice wick coming down or a nice retest and then price closing in your direction, you have a nice clean move that you can mirror to continue right back up. And on a macro scale, we're bullish on GJ anyway. So this would be a nice move to grab. But again, very tricky to be trading in this. The daily is just nasty.
The whole past week is critical.
Yeah. So, Stipe, again, I keep saying it, but we'll go over this on your Zoom. But you want to have a set of setups, and you want a trading plan, which we're going to put together. But you want that trading plan, and you need to stick to that trading plan. Most people, I've gone over this with all of you guys. Most people deviate from that trading plan after only 2 days. Sometimes not even 2 days. Now, it's because they think that, or in the back of their mind, it feels like that is the trading plan that they need to stick with for the rest of their trading career, and that's it. But in reality, it really adapts, where over time, with experience, which is king, you're going to be able to add more setups to it. You'll be able to add other pairs to it the more that you master those pairs. So you just want to make sure that you're sticking with the setups that you have on there. You're sticking with the pairs that you have on there, and you're only doing that, and that's it. Now, you're only 6 months in, and you could do yourself a massive favor by just sticking to your trading plan, and you're going to see some very, good success from an early start if you continue to do that.
Okay.
So yeah, we held support over here. Again, very key level right over here. Are we going to close above and form support and continue right back up? The clean move to the left. Got about 56 pips up there. And I would lower my risk if I'm trading in this, by the way. Or are we going to hold resistance right here, get a bearish candle forming, and then continue right back down? Gold is acting up a little bit. One more screenshot, and then I'll delete this. This is interesting over here, looking at the 5-minute. Strong bullish candles coming all the way up into this area. Now, this candle is like feeling like it's rejected. This 5-minute candle had no top wick over here, and now it looks like we're rejecting this area a little bit. And that's what the lower time frames are for, not necessarily to trade on, but to understand what price is doing in significant levels. Gio, were you out in Vegas for New Year's Eve? Or New Year's Eve, 4th of July?
Not on the strip, but yeah, I was in Vegas.
Nice. How was it out there?
It was like we didn't really what do you call this, walk on the strip, but yeah, we just did a drive through, and it was packed. It was crazy.
Wow.
It was super crowded.
Yeah, it's weird to see, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we're getting back to normal. Did you see that video of the California skyline with the fireworks?
Nah.
You did?
No. Where'd you see that?
Oh, it was on Instagram. I thought it was funny, but it was like California politicians tell people July 4th is canceled. We're not doing fireworks this year, and you see like thousands of fireworks going off from like different people's lawns at the same time. Just people not obeying. So what I'm looking for over here, looks like we're going to continue up and just continue to consolidate in here. But I need a clean setup over here. Give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Just like strong bullish candles. Maybe you get next candle coming down to retest. Then you get next candle is bullish, something like this with a wick to fill. And then you can enter based on this candle coming right back up, or you get a candle closing above this area over here, and you take this right back up with a clean move to the left. But other than that, I'm kind of staying out of GJ. Again, like I said, you could also get that resistance formed over here. Candles closing in your direction. These are going to be riskier sells over here. Just because we're still back into this range. But you could take risky sales up here and take this all the way down to the support and then scale in on the way down, but also secure. But yeah, it's a little messy on GJ this morning.
Gold is breaking again.
I know. Dude, we should have been in from that area I pointed out before. The only thing is we probably would have been stopped at break even with this wick. But this is something that you can journal, Stipe, and just learn. Look at this setup. Look how bullish gold is over here on the daily. After finally breaking out of this consolidation over here, these are the kind of moves you get when you break out of consolidation, especially for that long. You get nice moves like this. You get nice candles to the left. You get the 4 hour. Should be coming up to 1824 over here. Then we got that formation Gary likes, the turtle soup over here. All right, Gary. All these crazy names for setups. No. Yeah, man.
We've got gold going to 1823.
Yeah, 1823, 1824.
It's like a 15-minute order block up there.
So we may get some strong actually they're anticipating weak numbers coming out for ISM services PMI. They're expecting weak, so maybe they're pricing this in. Who knows? But right now we are above that level that we were talking about over here. This whole area right here. Right now, as you guys can see, this green dotted line, we're breaking above. So what I'm looking for is possibly a retest of this area, and then we can get this around 9, 10 o'clock with that volume to take this right back up, to continue up. 4 hours, all these candles look very bullish and very strong as well. So there's no reason to sell this, definitely. Just wait for your supports to form. We're in a trending market now. Wait for those supports to form, just like we got this morning. But we were consolidating a little bit. I was saying to enter over here on the 30-minute as we broke above these bearish wicks over here. That would have been a nice 22 pip gain. If you didn't move your stop loss to break even, you would still be in this, but you would have probably managed risk as it came back to your entry. But again, look for something similar like this up here. Look for that support to form, and you could take this up right up to 1824. But until then, don't get FOMO. You know, just because you missed this doesn't mean your trading career is over. Like, you have so many more opportunities that you could grab trades on. Do we wish we got this? Absolutely. But there's plenty more to get. Plenty more opportunity, plenty more setups that you'll be grabbing. It looks like we're forming that resistance over here. If you get a nice strong close on the 30-minute or maybe even the 15-minute, maybe below 153, 400. I'd like a nice close below. You could possibly take sells to continue right back down. Yeah, I want to see the 30-minute close bearish over here. Damn gold. Just journal this. But like I said, that's what we have over here. Is anybody thinking about taking this sell over here once the 30-minute closes? Or are you guys going to wait for the support to break?
I'll wait for that break, the support.
Like I said, these are riskier sells, but you may be able to get better sells once we break this support, and even better sells once we break this support to continue all the way down to 152,800. I keep getting gold and GJ prices mixed up in my head. I keep wanting to say 1,800. But yeah, I would, if you are going to take sells in here, I would wait for this level to break 153, 400. Then we should continue down. But when it comes to gold, like I said, wait for that support to form. And then also maybe wait for ISM services PMI to come out today to take this up. You should get some nice volume around 10 or 11 o'clock today. Even like 9:45 is going to be nice as well. But with that, I'm about to hop off. That's about it. You know, I'm not seeing anything that I really want unless we do get that close below here or close below support over here. But guys, brand new month. It's July 6th. Obviously, those of you living in the U.S., we've had the weekend. It's been a slow start to the month, just like any kind of new year where, you know, you guys are going out New Year's Eve and having a good time. And, you know, you're talking about new year, new me, all that stuff. And you end up, you know, waking up hungover the second of the first of the year, and you don't start the year off on the right foot. But start this month from today. Again, those of you that were in the U.S., we had the holiday. We had Monday off yesterday. Some nice relaxing time with family and friends, stuff like that. But this is it. This is your business. Make July the best month of your life. Do everything that you want to do as far as putting the work in with back testing, but also journaling, studying your moves. You heard that clip from Kobe. Understand why things are happening, why moves are happening, why your pair is moving the way it is. But again, put everything into this month. If you guys are struggling with something personally, as far as let's say momentum or drive, or there's something that's in your life that's kind of hindering your progress, whether, let's say, it's smoking or drinking or any kind of vice that you have in your life. Make it a challenge for yourself to drop that for a month, right? If you can't do that, if you can't keep that promise to yourself, then how far do you think you're going to get in trading? If you can't listen to yourself and trust your own word, because you're just going to be in the market taking trades that you really didn't plan, and you're not going to stick to your plan. You're not going to stick to your trading strategy. You're just going to be trading anything. You're going to be making any kind of impulse decision in the market. Instead, make sure that you're focused on what you have to do every single day. You're keeping your own word to yourself. You're putting the work in, and then eventually it's going to start to turn for you. There's a lot of guys in here. It's really starting to turn for it. David, Gary, James, Matei, before you took that break, you know, everything was really starting to turn the corner, right? I think Pat's feeling a little bit better. I know Gio is. Carlos, we still got work to do. Obviously, you just got in, so you know, we're well on our way. But Tiger, you're feeling more confident as well. But we have more work to do. Just because you're feeling good doesn't mean like you've made it. So let's keep our head down. Let's keep working, keep the horse blinders on, and continue to work and become the best that we possibly could be, not only in the market, but in life. All right, guys, so if you need me at all, you know where to reach me. Looks like GJ's ranging around this area a little bit. You might be better off waiting for the support to form. But if you guys need me, let me know. What's it called? Stipe, good luck with the course. Let me know how you like it. Let me know when you're done, and we'll schedule that Zoom right away. All right, boys.
Thanks, man.
All right,
Thanks,
man.
guys, and see you.
All right, nice having you
See you
guys
guys
on.
later.
Nice having Matei back in the fold. So we will be right back tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Looking forward to it.
Perfect.
Boys.
See you tomorrow, guys.
See you, boys.
All right, brother. Take care.